Ivy Gang Gang,
aka Mango King.
welcome to Surviving Nairobi, episode 10, season 4.
Cuatro.
Season 4,
Exactly.
half of my favorite number. We are glad to be here with two beautiful ladies, two beautiful people. I don't know their pronouns yet.
Ives. I haven't done my thing, Mazio.
Relax.
I feel forgotten.
Acha nikwambie shida yako kuwa Afari alipanda bei sasa siku hizi.
Panda bei?
Si umekuwa sijui our sugar daddy nini. Anyway,
Sugar is cheap.
wow.
In our country.
In our economy.
In Ghanai's economy.
You know the thing with y'all
In
is
Jaden's economy.
the thing is you
Kwa
all niggas are
cereals.
looking in all the wrong places. Let me just point that out. Matafuta sukari kwa swamp.
Where's zone yako tu?
Sindo tuko
I'm exposed.
hiyo ndo shida ya
Fucking
Fare.
hate you.
Expose.
Fucking hate you.
So I have done my introduction. I wanted to introduce Hafari in a very dramatic way, but ashaua. So anyway,
Nimechoma.
Umechoma.
Saa finyeni pause na mwende home.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
with our famous
I love the fact that he was famous. I would prefer infamous. But kama kawaida cha boy Hafare, aka Mr. Loaded Bases, aka a pork loving slut, aka the Westminster Wombat, aka the butt grab machine, aka Daddy the Sad, aka the Grand Director, aka Giancarlo Pierogi, and finally for this season is your brand new Sugar Daddy.
Why are you saying it?
Emphasis on sugar.
Why are you saying like? Have you guys noticed Hafari's stance when he's introducing himself? It's like he's about to throw a twerk. Like, yeah.
You know, but I don't want to embarrass all of you in here.
I am.
The
Big
first
Batty
one,
Abdi.
Daddy, this is the first one that made me laugh. I've already forgotten it.
I forget them too because I write them down.
Yeah. I
Which
remember
one?
on an episode I
Mr. Loaded Bases, a pork loving slut, the West.
Pork loving
Slut, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's you're about to jump and like hop onto a hole, onto a pole and be like,
It's
yeah.
like,
Do you know what
I'm
pole is
about
made
to
of?
twerk
You've
for
got
that
me.
Pork.
Do you know what that pole is made of? Pork ribs. Those little tiny bones. They've been fashioned into a
Of course.
pole, baby. I gotta stay on brand, baby.
I hope you're going down that pole like Lil Nas X. Like, he walked so that you can run.
You know what? If the devil was a pig, I
He
would have
can't
done that
run.
shit.
His big butty update. It's too big.
I
He's just gonna like majestically walk on that, aisle.
Jeez, guy, what the fuck am I gonna say
An
now?
aisle of bacon. Yeah. Keeping
love
it
bacon,
pork.
man. But anyway,
Anyway,
I just get a bacon wrapped drumstick.
and you're sold.
It's called the Swanson.
Niggas are cheap as hell.
Nigga, I've been cheap. I'm Mr. Maximum Value.
Hey.
Remember
Called that
that?
Swanson because of Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The fact you get that reference, I like it.
I'm
But
getting
anyway, I
creative.
don't know you introduced. Na nimekuwa
I
mkiongea
know,
kwa
I
mjina
know.
fulani.
We've just been talking. Okay, so you're done with your intro. Is this the part where we
Yeah.
introduce
Yes,
ourselves?
yes. The moment I say it's your brand new Sugar Daddy, my intro is done. Because I have like a theme. Every season I'm something new. So next season I'm gonna be like what your space
Yeah,
age,
I
whatever.
remember there's an episode on I think it was last season where you said that you have never repeated anything of the
Yeah,
thing.
and I never use it.
Which
I have
I
1,000 and
admire.
I have 1,004 AKAs.
That is
Whoa.
insane.
And when I hit
Imagine.
1,004, I'm gonna stop.
I was watching.
And that's on
the,
creativity.
I was watching the AK
That's
video.
on label.
On YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
so
like,
dope.
this is so interesting.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
Because my AKAs always have like some sort of backstory. Maybe they're
Yeah.
nonsense. I haven't said Mr. 40% in so long. But next week I'm gonna be Mr. 40% keg in Mwakenya.
Wow.
I love fucking keg. Yeah,
That's
and
really
if you
cool.
watch that video, it's because I love Futurama and Bender Bending Rodriguez, one of my favorite characters. He always keeps saying he's 40% something.
Bender, what show is that?
Futurama.
the
Futurama.
animation.
Yeah. Have you know who Futurama? But anyway,
I'm
a lot of people don't
sorry.
appreciate animation as art, so it's cool.
I watched my first 3D animation just recently in the
Which-
cinemas.
I'm disgusted.
It was Raya and the Last Dragon.
I'm
and
disgusted.
Let me tell you, Mina, I have a crush on an animation character.
But then do you know the
She's
funny thing
amazing.
is-
I have a crush, but I also see myself in her. But we still haven't introduced us
Again, yes. Big
Sunflower.
homie. The lady in the yellow. She looks like a Rina ad.
Oh, she looks so beautiful.
That's so bad.
No, but she looks so good. She looks so beautiful.
Serious?
This is Kags.
Sunflower oil.
The like, if you've ever wanted to see somebody who's like skin yake ni light, vizuri,
This is the first person who's lighter than
Ivy,
Yeah,
goes
oh
in
my
your
God.
Rolex.
Yo.
Wanaume mkiangalia kitu, please msifall in love. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I know
but
it's a,
we're,
I know
we're
it's a
giving
thing,
Kat
but
a lot of pressure now.
Kags Zombie.
Me too.
Kags, tell us about
This is
yourself.
Kags
Mhm.
or Kagishu or
Rami.
Amira. From the first draft, and I am a scientist by day
Hey.
Hey.
and a writer by day
Mhm.
and a clown by night.
Sometimes your calorie goes fast.
Daylight time savings.
Inaingia kwa siku.
Power saving.
Time is a social construct.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like sunflowers. I like pancakes. I like good books that smell old. I like konyagi. I know you guys remember me from my konyagi phase on Twitter. It's still there. If you want me to teach you how to drink konyagi, hit me up. Because you guys are drinking it wrong.
Jeez. You have a konyagi gatekeeper. I'm
I'm,
surprised.
do you know, I'm actually amazed.
There's a konyagi gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Y'all are drinking konyagi
Yeah,
wrong, you
yeah.
bastards.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that you're drinking it, but
You're drinking it wrong.
Do it
yeah,
right.
you're drinking it wrong. Do it right.
Say
For
it
free.
right.
It's not a master class, by the way. I'm
Make
gonna
it
do it for
one.
free.
It's our
Make it
living
one.
class.
Make it one.
Our podcast
It's the
needs
year of the
money.
coins. It's the year of the coins. Make these coins.
And I'm also, I feel like
Capitalize it.
I feel like I also have, okay, let me just say my bio on Instagram. I'm a writer, I'm queer, I'm an apothecary, that's an old word for pharmacist,
Apothecary.
Mm.
You
I'm a
are uneducated
hijabi.
bastards.
spelled HIJABEE, to mean that I'm part of the Muslim hive, so Beyonce every day.
Wow.
Hijabi.
Wow! I never got that.
That's
I never got that.
work.
That is brilliant.
And Eat the Rich. If you want to rob someone, rob Jeff Bezos. Also, focus on science. Rise above love.
Right above what?
Quote
Shalom.
unquote.
Shalom.
Rick and Morty.
Aya.
Morty. Wait, no, Rick.
Rick.
Rick, yeah.
What is
Yeah.
a dumbass?
Wait, that's your Instagram bio.
My Twitter bio.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you?
And for
Mademoiselle, please.
Just before I get to me, I would like to say Kag is on Twitter. She's the Twitter
Yeah,
part of our
and
pod.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
The first draft is our pod, and Kag is the
the
Twitter face of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow her for your tweets. She's super dope. Her tweets are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
I'm Wango.
Mhm.
I have like I have like nothing on my bio. I don't even know what to call myself. I really have. It gives me stress.
Can I give you a
but-
word to use?
Yeah.
Mi ni mdau tu. Mi ni mdau fulani.
No, do you know that video for Minim Creativity Mbaya?
Yeah, literally.
Mi ni creativity mbaya.
Medium creativity buyer. I co-host.
It's Ivy is loving this, but Ivy is loving this.
I relate.
You know what? That's actually what I'm always going to use now. Always. Medium creativity buyer. I co-host and create content on Instagram. So I co-host on our podcast, The First Draft. I create content
Check it
for
out.
The First Draft, and I also create content on Wango Munge. Although
Amazing.
I have an issue with calling it content because for me it's just vibes. Like honestly, it's just vibes
And inshallah.
And inshallah, I'm also a designer. I do graphic design. I studied architecture. I'm not currently practicing. And what else? What do? I vibe with shit. Honestly, that's what I do. What do I do? Wango is just person
A
vibing
vibist.
with shit. I vibe.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You guys have done a better introduction than we ever did Surviving Ruby.
Please speak for yourself, sir. Thank you very much.
And here's the thing, because I remember I was telling Ivy, like, we got to like episode 6 and I was like, yo, Ivy, we've never done a like get to know us episode. Ivy was like, fuck that, they know us enough. Let's keep going.
You actually have not.
Yeah.
Like I figured out what Ivy does because of her Instagram. I was like, DJ, okay. And then Strictly Silk, I saw she was DJing and I was like, so she must be a DJ. I found out because of Kags. Literally,
Actually,
I would not be now
We should do a now
You
that
should
she's
get-
putting
Ivy,
it
we've
out.
been 4 seasons in. This
Like,
niggas
I-
already know. Ivy, it's 2 years.
Haber is like, I want to do that. I'm trying.
Let me tell you the pressure I had. When Hafari was recording his AKAs, it was just downstairs. And then one of our producers was like, Ivy, we also need to do. And I was like, fuck, me sina AKAs.
Like
Me,
you
I'm
too.
me Nico too. So like for a moment, I won't even lie to you. I laughed at myself like afterwards. I was trying to figure out, needs a pata AKAs down every side.
That's not your thing. That's
"Man,"
not your thing.
I'm like, this is not my thing.
not your
I
thing.
just went to her and I told her, you know what, D?
Haiwezi.
Manze mi sina shit.
Haiwezi.
Ni sawa tu.
Haiwezi.
Mi nimsetua vibes.
Although, to be honest, I'm also at that point where, in my life specifically, and one of my life goals is trying to define myself outside of what I do.
Exactly. It's so
So
hard.
I'm always, because even Jana, I was asking my homies on my this is why I don't take my Instagram seriously. I call the people who follow me my homies. But I was asking people like, you guys think I'm productive? Because I was like, I do like 3 tasks in a day. One of them is
3?
doing laundry. So 2 of them.
You do laundry every day.
Not every day, but like one of them, it's either doing laundry or it's housework.
Yeah.
It's either doing laundry, cleaning your dishes. One of those 3 tasks I do in a day. And the thing is, I'm not about being productive in my life, and I'm not about defining myself beyond work. I mean, defining myself based on the confines of work.
Shout out to the Lazy Hive.
You know, like, and now I've been trying to think about the place of ambition and all this work thing in our lives. And for me, productivity and work and everything, I'm just like, it's so toxic. So every time people try to tell me, because you know the initial thing people ask you is like, who are you? And when you say who are you, it's like
What do you
supposed
do?
to be
Yeah.
what you do.
It's an interview. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
who
an
are you
interview,
means
basically.
what you do. And I think it should be something else.
Yeah.
You know, I
You know,
don't
people
know.
ask me who I am. Nasemanga mimi ni afara, mimi ni chokoraro fulani. And just like, what? Yeah, I said what I said, bitch.
I don't think I've ever answered a who are you question in terms of like what I really, as you know, like ati what I do.
Yeah.
Ati who are you? I'm DJ Ivy. No, who are you? I'm Ivy. If you ask me
Yeah.
what I do,
You're-
then
yeah.
I have an answer for you.
Yeah.
Most of the time when people ask me who I am, sometimes I'm like, bro, that's so deep. Who the fuck am I?
I
Because
know.
most of the time we don't even know because you're always evolving.
I've
Always.
Anyway.
kuna time ulikuwa Spaso, I think you're playing
Mm.
and you were with a mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
Aliniuliza, what are you good at? And I had an existential crisis for 2 weeks. Like, but I figured it out. But
You're
anyway,
good at this thing. Actually, I feel like you're the face of surviving Nairobi.
I
You are the face of surviving
hiyo
Nairobi.
ni high praise. High praise. And
I think
nataka
you're both very
kubali.
good at it. I've
Yeah,
listened
we're
to
like
your podcast
like
for a
surviving
while.
Nairobi is 50-50. We're not gonna say somebody's the face because it's me
No,
and you.
but you are good at podcasting.
He's really,
then.
yeah, he is.
Am I?
He's
Let
so
me not-
good at it.
Yeah, you're good at
He's
podcasting. I think
like,
you are.
and like it comes out so naturally for him.
Yeah.
Like, and even
Be still my
I think
beating
you
heart.
both are good at it
Exactly.
because I've
Working
been
with
listening
him-
to your podcast for 4 seasons now,
right.
and I think you guys are really good.
Exactly.
I'm
No,
not
nasema-
even gonna lie. You guys are really
w-
good.
we are a
I
team.
barely listen to Kenyan podcasts, which is a shame. I know there's a lot of good Kenyan podcasts
Including
out there.
yours.
Look, I can't listen to our podcast because my voice is irritating as fuck.
Same.
Like today, I texted her and I was like, I need to make relevant tweets for this podcast, but I don't want to listen to my voice.
You know-
and she was like, right.
Do you guys know how hard it is for me like to listen to that shit and hear myself
Man,
stammer and I'm
yeah.
like, motherfucker, I have a voice for print.
Really?
Like
You're so eloquent.
Hello.
Both of you.
What's the
Guy.
problem?
I
Sometimes
feel like every time I listen to our podcast, the first thing I hear is us screaming into the mic,
And
laughing.
laughing. And me breathing.
And you know, because last week was you guys, and then you guys were like, we need to share a mic. I'm like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, what the hell do you mean share a mic? We have more than one mic.
You know, the
That's-
funny thing
and
is
that's
we've
on
never
trauma,
shared a
bitch.
mic.
That's
but
on trauma.
That's on trauma. That's on work process trauma.
And I remember I told you something. I like finally met Bukachi,
our
but I
producer.
don't think
He's outside,
I told you
yeah.
guys, meet Bukachi. He's a fucking professional. Because you guys been working with some whack niggas.
oh,
But anyway,
no, that's right.
anyway, before we continue, because this might just go completely left. We have an actual topic today.
Yeah, we
do.
do.
Oh
Oh my
Maybe-
god, yeah.
See
It
what
would be
one
a
wanna-
shame if
as
we
in-
did talk about it
Yeah.
because I've
Imagine
been prepping.
we're 20 minutes into nonsense.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
Like-
So you have like what 35 minutes or 40
Yeah,
minutes
true.
left.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's,
So, yeah.
let's get into it.
Our topic today is about something I feel like we need to talk about. Something I hold very close to me. It's just something I'm very open about, and that is loss and grief. And I just want to ask you guys, because sometimes people don't really understand what loss means. People see loss as losing somebody, losing a person to death or something. Yeah, basically death. Somebody died and you have a hole in your heart. But that just isn't loss.
Yeah.
You can lose a friend.
Can lose a phone, bro. I was-
Sema!
Bro, nilikuwa pickpocket by the way, guy. Hashtag
Ata-
save DJ Ivy. Because what the fuck, I was pickpocketed last Friday.
Ukipiga sherehe ya
Acha
mwisho,
nikwambie.
closing day. Closing day, closing day.
Closing day. Acha nikwambie, nishaibiwa simu tena na tena, but this time nilibiwa hivi simu nikasema, "Wow, nimeibiwa simu." Ni sawa, sherehe lazima iendelee.
Katambe.
And then, like,
Baby kata
literally,
simu.
like 10 minutes after, someone was like, "Yo, Ivy, DJ Ivy, nimesikia umepoteza simu wanze. Izajo, lakini niko na sweets. Unadai?" Me nani? Yes. And the party went on. Oh, but sweets is drugs. For something else.
I don't use those, please. Imagine, imagine nimestart as a serious topic alafu tunaongelea drugs saizi. You niggas have no couth.
Uncouth anyway, but kupoteza simu, whether or not you're prepared for it, that's a huge loss.
Yeah.
Because for me, my office was literally my phone was literally my office, because I had everybody's contacts there, and then there was communication that I needed to do
Yeah, like you just need
the
to follow
next
up on.
day, because Jaden alidecide kufunga gate Friday usiku
Fucking bastard.
angefunga tu Monday.
Hey!
As in, what the fuck?
Chokora.
Anyway,
angefunga Friday
kulikuwa na
8
event.
am.
Angefunga tu Sunday
Na
basi.
angetupea matime
Angefunga tu Sunday.
Imagine you can ilikuwa tupige heavy K,
Angesema tu right.
right? Ilikuwa nikuwe Meru. Nikidance kwa Len Ratio.
I had no plans, but like
I'm still feeling
you
it.
know, I'm still feeling it.
Yo, so
Something could have happened.
like
Yeah.
I
Bongo, I
needed,
remember you said on a podcast ulisema, I think it'll be released when this is out. Ulisema ati kuna mtu alisema ati wango ananga form. Which is true.
This is true.
But anyway, please, let's not digress. We have a serious topic to
But
talk about.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, let me say
Yeah.
on behalf of me and Wango's friends, we call her for form, but Wango.
Sure.
Chomas.
Do you wanna say?
Let me tell
do you
you
wanna talk
guys.
about that?
It's something to do with my introvertedness, and sometimes I'm not willing to show up. But you know what? My mood and mantra for quarter 2 is make mistakes, which means go out more, which means do all that
I love
shit.
it.
You know, so
Means you're wrong,
I'm
yani.
ready. I'm ready
No,
now.
for the
Quarter
events,
2
yeah.
in lockdown.
Yes, so
Loss.
anyway,
So
I
lost.
just want to ask you guys,
Have you ever lost someone?
have you ever lost someone? Because I'm going to start with me.
Someone and something.
Someone or
or
something, yeah. It doesn't have to be...
Not
like,
exclusively to death.
not exclusive death. It could be anything. It could be a lover, it could be a friend.
Oh,
It could
cags.
be anything.
Could be death of a job.
Yeah. Anything.
Death of old self.
Yeah. Loss
Could be
is
death
loss.
of anything.
And how you grieve through it is personal to you. I'm going to start with me. Back in the day, because I think you guys have met my friends. I've met a lot of my friends. Most of them are high school friends. Because I think I only have one friend from campus. Shout out to Jeru. I know she's listening. Yeah.
Oh, Jerry's a solid babe.
Seriously, baby. He's my only friend from campus. All of my friends are either from high school or some people I met like outside the campus space. But there was a friend of mine, called Kevin. We used to call him Bangi. There's a legit reason, because with the first day of high school, he came in, he had these red eyes. Like his eyes were red as fuck. No one knows why. And they always were red. Guys, uko na macho bangi. And it became like, okay, sawa. He went from macho bangi to bangi, because over time things evolve. That was like 2007. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2015. And he was one of my closest friends. And it's funny thing, because I remember we have a WhatsApp group, Sisi Mabeshte. And that day my WhatsApp fucked up. I wasn't getting any notifications. So another homie calls me like, yo, Hafare, you haven't been saying anything in the group. I'm like, why the fuck do I have to say anything? Where are you? I'm in Tao. Okay, let's meet at this place because I'm in Tao Pia. So I go, he tells me, sit down and tell you something serious. Hey, shit, I'm like, okay. Now in my mind, I'm thinking this motherfucker wants to borrow me money, but it's a lot of money because like that's what I'm thinking. Because I could never imagine he could tell me what he told me, like, you know, Bangi has died. Like, what the fuck? Unaelewa? At first I was so mad because I thought this motherfucker was playing with me. I wanted to beat him. I wanted to fight. And I'm like, no. Like, I called people, everybody I could. I even called his girlfriend. I was like, yeah, he died this morning. He killed himself. Unaona? Now for me, it took me through this whole roller coaster of emotions where like, this is one of my closest friends. Where the fuck was I when he decided to end his life? What the fuck was I doing as a person? Sindio? To like, am I really friends with him if I wasn't there for him? And it was so hard to cope because what the fuck am I gonna, like, how am I gonna meet his brothers, his girlfriend, like his family, because they knew me, and tell him like, oh, I didn't know he was going through this, and we're supposed to be the people who are looking out for him, when, because they live in Kericho. He was buried somewhere in Kericho. Every January 28th, I always remember him. It's been now 6 years. How am I gonna go to the funeral and be like, okay, I'm gonna explain I wasn't there for him when I was supposed to be there? And that was one of the hardest periods for me personally, because I didn't know how to process everything I was feeling. I didn't know how to get through it because I was supposed to be there for him and I wasn't. And that's the thing with loss. You cannot process it. There isn't like a manual like, okay, I'm gonna feel this, then this, then this, then this, and then I'm gonna be okay. There is none of that. You just go through it the way you can. Because the way he died, he, like, I couldn't even go look at his body in the casket because I didn't want to be my last memory of him to be that. I wanted my last memory of him to be the person I knew, the happy friend I had, the one who used to hang out with, the one who used to do all this fuckery with, like just have fun. And I decided I'm not gonna go like view the body because that's not the last image I want. Let the last image that I have of him be the ones that are happy. I don't want to go to sleep at night and imagine seeing him there, lying there. My friend went to see the body and he broke down. I had to carry him to the car. And it's such a weird thing, Maze, because after a while you accept it, but you never really get used to it. It's kind of fucked up, isn't it? You know it happened, but in your mind somewhere you're like, this really can't be real, is it? This is reality. Am I living in a simulation? But at the end of the day, we have to move on. That's the most fucked up part about losing somebody. You experience the loss, the grief, and then what's next? Unaendelea. What happens after that? Like, sijui hata. Jeez. Anyway, that's some deep shit, Maze. Everybody's so quiet in the studio. And like, anybody can like chime in with their experience, because I feel like maybe I've like kuna cloud hanging over us, Maze. Anyway, rest in peace to homie Bangi. I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah. I have nothing, honestly, after that. I don't understand. I can never understand the intensity that it is to lose someone really close to you, because I personally have never lost someone who was really close to me. So the most I can do is just be there for people. I was in a relationship with someone who lost their parents.
Whoa.
And both of them when they were really, really young. And they would always commemorate their parents' loss.
The anniversary.
Their anniversaries, they'd always honor them. We'd always honor them. But like, you know that sometimes these random waves of sadness, they just come. And as someone who's never experienced that, you will never understand. I have never understood entirely, honestly, but I've seen it with the person who has lost people. And I don't have the capacity to even have an input on something like this, honestly. And I'm the one who, because usually plan content.
Yeah.
And this was something
This
that I
is
put in.
your idea.
This was my idea, because I wanted to understand, like, do you ever get over grief? Because seeing people spiral, because I can be with you this very minute, and the next minute you're so sad.
You're broken down mess,
You're
yeah.
broken. You're a mess. And I'm like, what the fuck happened in a minute? And like when I was putting this as one of the things that I wanted us to talk about, I don't know if this sounds selfish, but it was for me to understand, because I don't know.
But I've question. I've like, you don't have to lose a person. Have like the same way I lost my friend Cindy. Haven't you ever lost an opportunity?
I have, but you can't compare losing an
That's the thing,
opportunity
yeah.
to losing a person.
Yeah.
I've lost opportunities, lots of them. But like, opportunities come and go. People come and go, and when they go, they don't come back.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But
I feel like
it's
Fucking.
that's why people say death is serious, because, and people relate death to people.
Yeah.
We relate death to losing people in our lives. We never say at you, when
Death
you
to
lose
a
a job,
project.
at my project died.
Yeah, because
Hey,
guys will tell you you can
it
get
just
another
didn't
job.
work. Yeah. And it's true. You
But
can
there's no other
actually get
Bangi.
another job. Yeah, there's no other person like him. There can never be. Even if he had a child who turned out to be like him, it'll never
It'll never be him, yeah. There can never
Exactly.
be another one of him.
Yeah. So like for me, I was like, I really want to understand. And even up to now, I don't think I ever will. But like, this is just a step.
Yeah.
So that is the much I have. That is the much input I have in this podcast today, you guys. Poleni,
I be
but
basically in the
sina
audience.
Capacity. Mi ni audience. Nani sawa. Nani sawa.
Yeah, ni
'cause sina
sawa.
capacity. Mimi.
I haven't lost anyone in terms of death super close to me. I have, except super close to me like a friend, no. I lost my grandmother, who I'm named after. Well, I was really young, and I processed it way later and all that. Excuse me. And it was,
I'm going to keep that in.
and even then, we weren't friends 100% because I didn't understand the language as much.
Yeah.
But I've had loss, not in your, but I imagine loss a lot, because I don't know if this will be weird, but Kag has a lot of suicidal episodes. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, Kag has a lot of suicidal episodes.
In this
think I
podcast,
also
we
have
support
suicidal
consent.
episodes.
We support consent in this podcast.
Yeah,
regardless.
I also have suicidal
Yeah.
episodes. So we both have very. I have suicidal ideation a lot, which I've realized is not normal. I realize our conversations about dying are not normal.
You know, the thing is, like, as in,
I realized
ha,
recently.
I just want to die. Ha, 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 ha.
Like,
Bitch, I'm serious.
Gang signs.
I realized recently that waking up and not wanting to, like,
Do life.
for me, it's like, shit, fuck, niko hapa tena.
Okay.
Another simulation.
Bye. Let's
La
do
haula.
this.
La
Let's
haula.
do this bread or whatever. Is not normal. I'm not saying that everyone wakes up like, yay, let's get this bread. But it's like, it's I'm very animated.
Yeah, as in, yeah. Hey, Wango is very, very animated.
I'm very animated.
We love to
But-
see it.
But the thing is, I realized that my suicide ideation and Kag's suicidal moments, especially hers, because she's had moments, and if you listen on our podcast, when she ended up in hospital, and
And I've had also like attempts.
yeah. There's been a lot. So I imagine my loss of her, which is selfish in a way. Because let me tell you something about suicidal people. Don't try to tell them that my life would be, just live for
without
me.
you.
That's
Fuck
bullshit.
that shit. It's bullshit.
Shit.
First of all, they don't even want to live for themselves. What about you?
Exactly.
Well, you don't matter.
You don't
And let me tell you, by the time
matter.
you're
You're just a sport in
suicidal-
society.
And by the time you're suicidal, you have thought about
about it.
existence without the other person, and you've genuinely imagined that their life will be better without you, or in some way, like that they'll get over it. And like, there's even been there's an ad for drunk driving. What's it? An
Oh, yeah.
ABL
Yeah,
ad.
it was ABL
Yeah,
ad.
they'll
Yeah.
move.
And
Yeah.
people
Like,
will
niggas will
forget.
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will forget and they'll move on.
Na utakufa na wadau
And-
watapiga sherehe
Ma-
bado.
Yeah.
And me and my friends
Or
have
dance ama piano.
conversations. My friends and I have conversations about death regularly. my friends and I are sad bitch niggas. But like
Guy.
we have conversations about death regularly. You know, about
Yeah.
you know, if my body was found here, who are they going to call to contact everyone else and everything? So I think about loss regularly, but especially with CAG. And it breaks my heart. I don't think I'd ever get over it. I still haven't got over the death of my grandma, and we weren't even that close. It's just I'm named after her, and I'm the youngest person in terms of the kids who's named after her, which I guess means something equivalent. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it usually means the eldest, but somehow she held me very closely. And as much as we had a language disparity, we had this relationship, and it was the most painful death for me I've felt so far. And every time I imagine death and loss in that form of death specifically, it breaks my heart.
But here's the thing.
And I can't even
But here's the thing I realized.
explain it in words.
Before Kag speaks, here's the thing I realized, that one of the hardest things is acceptance without coming to terms with something happening, without ever healing. You just have to accept and go through the motions. But
Before healing.
Yeah, before healing, because you're never gonna heal. Healing requires some sort of closure. What type of closure is gonna bring somebody back?
Nothing.
Nothing. So you're just gonna have to accept without healing and just go through the. Because they say time heals all wounds, but how much time? That's the thing.
We're never sure.
We're never sure. But anyway, let me stop being a Debbie Downer. Kags, don't be.
Okay. So
Kags in a wonderful yellow bucket hat, yellow shirt.
Sunflower.
Like
Yellow
she looks
hijab.
like a sunflower, maze. Look at that. Ngozi, as in rangi ya thao.
Yep.
Rangi ya thao kabisa.
Tao yenyewe.
Wanaume mnachiki dem, please.
The thing
Please.
is, mbona
Stay away.
wanaume?
Eh? Oh, actually yes. Wanaume. Hata nine binary, please.
Are we just going to out
Wanawatu.
like that?
No, she said she's
Let her.
queer.
I already outed
She
myself.
says she's queer already.
Oh yeah, you said
That's the thing.
I said wanawatu.
Wanawatu. So please nitumeni thao kwa namba yangu. Ndakupa namba yao. I'm basically a pimp at this point.
Afare, do better. Do better.
I won't.
Do
I
My
won't.
camera one,
pronouns.
camera two.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
pronouns.
Kags, what's your
Afari.
pronouns?
My pronouns are she, her.
She,
Mine
her.
too.
Yeah.
Mine also she, her.
Giza.
I've never really thought about that.
What are
Mseto.
your pronouns?
Mini
She,
chokora.
her.
She, her.
Mini
Yeah.
chokora.
Actually, I think I'm eventually bending towards they, but like anyway.
Ongea, Zambele.
Yeah, for
Zambele.
sure. That's
Zambele.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we actually need to talk because I feel anyway.
Yeah.
We'll
Same,
discuss
right?
that.
Mi pronoun
Same.
yangu ni chokora.
Yeah.
Same.
Ni
Anyway,
unisex.
so for me, I haven't lost any relative that was really close to me. I've seen my mom hurting over relatives that she's lost, but I was like, I didn't know that nigga, and I'm so sad that you're hurting, but I did not know that nigga. But for me, the two people I've lost, one of them was my sister's partner when I was like in class 6 or something. I don't remember. But then he was the person who introduced me to so much of the pop culture I indulge with right now, specifically Harry Potter. He gave me my
Nilijua
first
tu.
Harry Potter book,
Nilijua tu.
and it's my favorite Harry Potter book to this day. It's
Which one
Harry
is it?
Potter and the Goblet
Of
of Fire.
fire.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You love Cedric
I
Diggory,
found
don't
my
you?
tribe,
Yeah.
guys.
You love
I have
Cedric
found
Diggory.
Do
Yeah.
you
my
love Cedric
tribe.
Diggory because of Cedric Diggory, or do you love Cedric Diggory because of
Harry Potter.
Nani?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert
No,
Pattinson.
because of
Cedric.
Diggory.
Yeah, I love him.
The other
found
day
my
I
tribe.
was so numb.
but it's Robert Pattinson for me.
The other day I was so numbed out, like I was so dissociated, and I was like, I need to feel something. So I googled Cedric Diggory death scene, and I cried like a baby, and I was just like,
Jeez, I can't remember the last time I cried.
I cried
today.
People
so
have told me that
much.
and I'm just like, y'all
I
don't
cried
cry
so much, and I was
regularly?
like,
I cried today.
So
I
you
did
can't-
cry
especially-
today.
you can't.
On Andothi.
anyway, and then you'll ask me on a normal day, what's your favorite book, Hags? And I'll be like, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. But that's a lie, because my favorite book is a book I gave him when I was a kid, and it was like, it wasn't a self-help book, but it was like, do this when you're happy, do this when you're sad, do this when you're anxious, do this when you're
What's the
whatever.
title of the book?
I don't remember. That's the
Oh,
worst.
for
That's
real?
the bane of my existence.
Shout out to Bane.
I don't remember the book, and I feel like the person who'll find that book for me,
But you remember
I'll
the
give
context
them
of the
10
book?
babies.
10?
10 babies.
Yo, like, as in,
Minimum.
Are you actually going to
Minimum.
count?
that's the thing, like, babies are liability.
1, 2, 3.
That's 10 years of her life.
No,
No,
like,
the thing,
minimum.
no, actually, I like how she's put it. She'll give him,
Yeah.
yeah,
Him
Or her.
whoever, 10 babies.
them.
Doesn't mean that she's going to raise them.
Yeah.
Together.
I
Oh,
did
Hakuna
say I wanna
respect.
raise them.
Have them.
So Kat is gonna like pop out a baby like
Shika
here.
two.
What the fuck? Have
Yeah,
this.
tried to
you
Google
get a
it?
baby, get
I've
another
tried
one.
to Google it. I've gone on Reddit. What's the
Quora.
subreddit called? Guess the book or something like
Yeah.
that. I've tried to describe it. Nothing. And
Interesting.
nothing. And I feel like I love that book because one of my favorite pages from that book was how to make the best tea. And I don't remember the recipe.
You Google that and you still can't find
I
it.
still can't find it.
Chicky, like maybe that book was just meant for you then. That time
Yeah.
I know, which is
that
which
time,
is
that
which is the worst thing because I feel like I could never feel that feeling I felt when I was with him, reading that book with him again. Because he also introduced me to Kanan. I don't know if you guys know
I know
Kanan.
Ichigali Galasoba.
love-
What does
Galasoba.
it say? What does it say?
I'm not fucking Somali, you rat bastard. What the fuck? I'm not fucking Somali.
First about to go off.
Anyway,
Go
so
Love it.
so he introduced me to Kanan, and I used to go to this abandoned kibanda. He gave me his MP3 player, and I used to go there and listen to Tubador, like the whole album. And I feel like that's one of my favorite albums, like from TIA to People Like Me, everything. Like, you know what tripped me out the most is like I fell in love with Waving Flag before World
That's
Cup.
the thing. As in, was
And
the
then
Waving Flag on the
when-
album or was it on Dusty Foot Philosopher? I
No,
can't
it was on
remember.
the album.
It was on the
Troubadour?
album.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So when
Why
when
do you
it
know these
became
things?
when it became like a World Cup thing, and then they didn't choose it, I was like, what the fuck?
They chose Waka Waka.
Waka waka.
I hated that.
Yo,
also.
Shakira was throwing
hated
her
that.
waist around. Like, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but I feel like Waving Flag was so.
It did. Waving Flag
You-
was
you-
powerful.
you know the
it was
most
a
fucked up
statement
thing?
on its own.
You know what the
First of all,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, I have a question.
Africa. Like, there's so much more
Yeah,
symbolism
That's the thing.
in choosing.
But do you remember like R. Kelly was in that album? With the sound of victory? Yeah, that was weird.
Let me tell you.
But anyway,
Let me-
I've finished.
Be honest about this R. Kelly thing. I won't lie. I'm not, and I know I'm not speaking just for myself. There's sometimes, especially in the bathroom, you'll just be there minding your business, taking a shower, and then you just start randomly humming an R. Kelly song, and then be like, "Fuck, this is an R. Kelly song." Fuck. There's one time.
The Matatu. Kwanza.
Watch Ivo.
Ui.
There's one time I was playing for a private audience.
I think I
right?
know exactly who you're talking about.
And then, I'm playing music, and then, like, as a DJ, you listen to this song thinking about the next song.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you know what song would bang with this? Burn It Up. So at the time, I'm not thinking R. Kelly is in that song. So I'm looking for the song Burn It Up. Then when I cue it, I'm like, featuring R. Kelly. Fuck! Fuck! I can't play this song.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
I mean, the song is catchy, but the person who did the song or the person who's part of the song
I've not worked.
is problematic. So you
Yeah.
can't. Then you just need to play another song.
Yeah.
It's
I have a question for you guys. And let's keep it,
real.
real. How do you guys cope with grief? Especially when, like, we've talked about our points.
Sorry, but did Kag finish?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Jeez, go. Fuck me, guy. I'm such a bad host. I should just leave.
No, it's fine.
Guy, I feel so bad.
It's all like,
Okay,
Gags.
anyway.
I owe you Indomie.
how do you even? Anyway, yeah.
So I remember the first time, the first time I learnt about his death was my mom coming into my room and she was like, when was the last time you saw Maina? I was like, yeah, in town. He told me how he's doing something, and I was like, I'm at Allianz waiting for USIU to pick me for pharmacy, blah blah blah. And then that was it. Like it was a very
Oh, this is
3-minute, yeah, it was a very 3-minute conversation. And then she was like, I want you to be the first one to tell you that he's dead.
Jeez. La haula.
And I was like, oh my god, the fuck. So I played Fire in Freetown by Kanan the whole night. Cried. I went on Instagram, posted a photo of Fire in Freetown by Kanan, and then a crying face, and then a lightning bolt for Harry Potter.
Jeez.
And no one got it, but I was like, you know,
That's your thing. That's your thing, man.
that's my thing. That's my mourning. That's my grief. And then that was the first friend. Okay, that was the second friend I lost, but I processed that one immediately. The first friend I lost, if you've read my last post,
I read that. But they, before you continue,
yeah,
Kags is a wonderful writer.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, wonderful
I've
writer.
read her work on Twitter.
Yeah, she's
like
amazing.
2018. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
the time I used to write a lot on WordPress.
Kags
Yeah.
writes like she has a way with words, and
Thank
that's
you.
Ivy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway, the last post I wrote was called The One with the Prayer Mat. It was about my journey into Islam as a convert. And I dedicated it to my friend called Farah. He was my friend when I was a kid. And when I used to live in Roysambu before we moved. And, and I never processed it because I was a kid and I was like, what the fuck is death? People just go and never come back. Like that's sus. That's weird. That's suspicious. You know? And I just remember being on a rooftop with Mama Farah, and there was so much pilau, and she was hugging everyone, and she looked so tired, like she'd been crying all night. And I was just like, okay, so in my head I was just like, so Farah's gone on a trip, but okay, I know he's a pilot, he's gone on a trip, but when is he coming back? Because I have more questions to ask him about Islam and about science and about life and about everything, because we're homies, and he couldn't have left me. And then my parents were just like, no, he's
He ain't coming back,
coming
man.
back. And I didn't process it. I was like, okay, fine, cool. I'm just gonna push that to the last level of my brain and act like he's gonna come back one day. And then one day when I was drinking Beefeater Pink with my sister in her room,
She's ass. Yo, fuck me, but I just did some shit. Guy, I was gonna kill me for this.
and I was like,
Okay, you know what? Fuck me, Maziazi. Let's just start fucking because I'm going to edit this shit out. So yeah, you were your sister?
I was my sister drinking Beefeater Pink in her room, and she was like, you remember Farah? And I was like, yeah, see, Gags' cousin, Kina Mohammed's son. And she was like, yeah, la, 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 la. And when she was talking about him, I was like, oh my god, Farah is dead. And I
Jeez.
cried so much that day. And I cried so much. And then all of my dreams after that was like Farah. And one of the dreams that he came to me, he asked me to go see his folks and tell them that I've converted. And I was like, I'm going to do that. So I eventually went. And they were so receptive. They were like, mashallah, we love it. Anything you need. Prayer gowns, samosas, anything.
Samosas?
They were like, anything you need, we got you. Just call us. And they're like, you know where we are.
Ask them for anything you need.
You could ask them for a husband.
I'm curious.
Wait, Ivy. Nimesikia umesema. I've heard what you said.
And they were like, we're here for you, like whatever you need. They were like, also we remember you. You're a very, very weird kid. You used to cry a lot.
Guy.
And I was like, depressions.
Yo, that's fucked up.
But they were like, yeah, we remember you used to also be very like family oriented and friend oriented, and you'd come see him all the time. You'd come see Gags. because that family had Gags, my age mate, and then Farah, my not so age mate. So I'd be like, today I'm going to see Gags. Today I'm going to see Farah. Today I'm going to see Gags. Today I'm going to see Farah. So they'd be like, you'd be very like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Shout out to Kags. She's an
And
equal
Farah.
opportunity friend. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like at this point, with Kag's story, and I think we've been long enough on this. I use
That
time
was-
for
Music break.
music break. Honestly, Juya Kags. I just want to play some Arabic shit.
thank you.
Say less.
Nurilain.
Yo.
Yeah, play some Arabic shit.
Say less.
So,
Let me tell you.
Sijawahi doubt
Hear
talanta
it,
yako.
Let's hear it.
Thank
Sijawahi
you.
doubt talanta yako.
Thank
Can
you.
we put like just one Kenan song in there somehow?
One.
What?
What?
Actually, the thing I actually really love Kenan, and when you're talking about how you listen to Waving Flag before it became
Yeah.
really hype,
Yeah.
same.
Really?
Yeah,
You know, the
because
fact of it, like I feel like me, you, and you listen to that song like way before.
yeah,
Wangu
yeah.
ako nje ya mix.
No, but I
I'm
like
not-
that
I
she
will- I
acknowledged
won't lie
it.
Yeah, she
that
acknowledged it,
I'm not,
yeah.
I'm not the hugest. One
Music
of the,
fan,
I never. I've said this several times on our podcast.
But like, if you follow me on
not,
IG,
I listen to podcasts more than I listen to music.
If-
That's fine.
yeah,
I listen
like,
to music more.
if you
That
listen,
makes sense.
if you follow me on IG, I have my morning devotions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
we
been,
do. We
I've been
see-
looking
we
at
see
them.
them.
We
I
see
searched
them.
yeah.
Did you listen to Days?
I did listen to it, but I saw it. I've been
Here's the
seeing
thing,
them.
'cause I
and I'm
told
just like, I
Kags,
see a part.
That's the song that's gonna play at my wedding. Yeah, but
Oh.
the instrumental first,
Yeah.
because it's a song by 36 Mafia called "Pussy Got You Hooked."
Guess who's playing on that wedding?
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. But
And that's on period.
wazazi wakiwa, I'm just gonna play the instrumental because the instrumental is so perfect. Dun, 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 dun. But wazazi wakienda, you know when the old niggas leave,
Bas.
Yeah.
tunaweka lyrics explicit. I want an E against the
Yo.
name. So,
Hey.
and on that, ladies and gentlemen,
Music
it's time for the music break.
Ivy Gang Gang.
AKA Mango King. And to finish today's episode, a simple question. I'd asked it before, but apparently you can't interrupt Wanko. I'm sorry. I need to give you the time you deserve.
Niggas are
Called
so
Mango.
gentle.
Oh shit, I'm drunk.
Niggas are so
Jeez.
gentle with babes. Should have seen the way you're taking to road. Okay. So next.
No, it's the, no, I meant Kags. Please, me forgive me. I'm in my regular drunken stupor. And keyword on the regular. Yeah. So anyway, I interrupted Kags before she could finish. But this is a question that's important. How do you guys cope with the grief? Or how have you coped with it? Is there something you did at the beginning and then maybe you grew out of it? Because for me, personally, when my friend passed away, and for most parts, like even when my dog passed away, the hardest thing was just accepting that this is real. And you know, the more time you spend with yourself, the more you think about it. So just drink. Just drink and just drink and drink. Because if I was drunk, I'd forget. But then I realized all I'm doing is just postponing the inevitable. And like destroying my liver.
What is the inevitable?
That you have to deal with it eventually.
How do you deal with it eventually? What does that look like?
That's the thing. You have to go through the feelings. The sadness, the pain, the anguish. Somebody told me a saying that I'll never forget. The easiest way like through hell is through it. No. The easiest way to go through hell is to like literally just walk a straight line through it. So if allow yourself to feel the sadness, the pain, the anguish, the anger, the doubt. All these things, allow yourself to feel them. Because at the end of the day, if you avoid them, you're just running. All you're doing is running. It might be a year, it might be 2, it might even be 10. But at some point, all that shit is going to catch up to you. And it's going to break you down. The most important thing is you have to break down and then build yourself back again. When my friend died, when Bangi died, I went on a bender. An absolute bender. I was like out for 10 days. I think I got a full night's sleep for like 2 days only. Because that time I used to live in Westland. So there was always a club open. There was always something I could do to forget that my friend had passed away. To not deal with the pain. But at the end of it, I had to sit down and just like internalize, Sawa, this man is never coming back. Now, what's next? That's the thing. If you're going to deal with it, don't try to run from it. Accept the pain, the grief, the anguish, all the shit you feel. Accept it. because running is only gonna delay the inevitable, and you're gonna have to go through that shit one day. So yeah, that's me. I've s-
I cry.
uh-huh.
Yeah, crying is powerful, bro. Like
Toa machozi.
Right?
I actually cried on my way
Period.
to this episode today. Like
I
I
understand.
had a misunderstanding with a Boda guy, and they're trying to heckle me, and like I just paid him and just hopped onto another Boda, and who was so nice, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it had also something to do with how nice this other guy was.
The contrast.
Yeah, the
usually makes
contrast,
you
and
feel
I was like, fuck. This is so fucking heartbreaking. How could these are two different sides
oh my
of,
god,
you know,
nimepitia.
it's like right. Yo, and I was like,
Mongo should be
you
on
know,
TV.
I was pitying I was pitying that thing of like
the contrast makes you feel so
yeah,
much.
and I was like, you know what? Not all men are trash, but like the ones who are trash make you cry, bro. And like I cried, and that's how I handle like even like right. Let me tell you,
That's so mean.
even on my laptop can't come on. Sometimes I just cry
Guy.
because I'm like I'm in too much of a rush to be patient. So when I
I'm
cry,
gonna relate.
I give myself time.
I cry at any
yeah,
moment.
yeah, and you know what?
Whenever I need to.
I love
Because
the
I
fact
said
that
this before. I can't remember the last time I cried.
and you know what I love
I'll
about
get
like
angry, but
this
yes.
environment right now in this 2021, like right now, tuko na masks na shades I can do an ugly cry in like 5 minutes.
Right.
I will
And then you're
agree.
good to go.
I will ugly cry my way through the next step. And after I'm done, I'll already know what to do next. Like Lia, maliza lakini uje after umaliza kulia, this is what you're doing next. Sawa. So my brain is like, okay, guys, my brain cells, just 2 of them. All of 2 of them.
Just
like
Just
relax.
both of them.
Check it, relax.
yin and yang.
Udem. my brain cells like check it, udem ana buffer. Sawa.
Buffering.
Relax. Watch her buffer. Sawa. Akimaliza buffering sesh, udem ako ready yake yote. So there's
Lahaula.
nothing she can't handle.
Everything.
And do you know after I maliza crying, nimemaliza kulia nikiwa hapa kwa gate. When you're calling me and
Yeah,
then I was
I
like,
called you.
when
Niko
he
gate.
called me, I was like, niko kwa gate.
And that
new.
bad bitch.
Yo, brand new.
It's me.
It's me. So I just came in here asking for eye drops. Kuna mse kona eye drops? Hakuna, ni sawa, nitakauka tu.
We'll manage, we'll
Everybody
manage.
Maria. Who knows?
Hey.
Who cares?
Me, but then me crying is my go-to all the time. And like,
Oh my god.
I like the fact that I can break down anywhere, anytime. And then after I'm done, I already know what to do.
You're a bad bitch.
Yeah, I'm a
You
bad
can't kill
bitch.
me.
Period.
Wait, you can't kill. And that's how Mary had a little lamp. Actually, let me tell you the deeper.
Wango is having so much fun.
My
Wango is
can I
having so
tell
much
you
fun.
my deeper meaning? My deeper meaning, my personal. This just for me. My deeper meaning for Mary had a little lamp, because lamb, okay, we shave them for what?
Wool.
For wool, and the best handkerchiefs are made of wool.
So that's what you used to dab your
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Dab
I'm
your
like,
tears.
Mary, Mary, come on, girl.
Anyway,
Yeah, but like, after crying, I'm good.
Wango.
Oh my
How do
god.
you deal with your grief?
Do you have yours first? Because we have seen it. I'm still like.
Nah, just say whatever.
Say yours.
Really.
Crying.
I mean, I cry as fuck. Because I just.
Girl, high five. Because I feel like eventually I'm going to open a club where, because you know, sorry to digress, but like in Japan, women could, the way you could call an Uber, you could call a guy to come and cuddle
Oh
you.
yeah, I know that thing.
Yeah, it's even on Vice.
Please, if you have my number, please call me to cuddle you.
Yeah, like, and you pay these guys to
Don't be
cuddle
saying
you.
things, Vazi.
Like, if I called Hafare to call him to cuddle me, I pay him
Yes.
because
Please.
he's at work. And
1500 an hour.
yeah, and there's
For the
nothing
ladies
he
listening,
does
for the aunties.
other than cuddling and listening to me. That's it. I feel like mi naeza fungua tu club ya
Just say
kulia.
yours.
No, that's the thing. Like again, kitu ingine ni you don't have to say anything. You can just say pass. This is like
Si
yeah,
must,
so
yeah.
No, mine is just like, it's so heavy. I feel like it's going to be so lengthy. But for me, 100% cry.
Thank
you. What?
Yo.
Like, cry.
Wango.
Yo.
Okay, I don't
You have to give us
actually-
the TLDR.
I don't cry as often as
Same.
I might be expressing. I know people think that from my expressions that I cry every 2 seconds.
But when you do.
When I do,
Ah.
like
By the
I
rivers
don't
of
hold back my
Babylon.
tears for shit.
Where he
And like, because I'm being like on IG sometimes when making content, I will cry and be laughing at the same time. I'll just be like, "Yeah, you can do this shit," and I'll be crying. I'll just be like, "I'm so tired. Capitalism is so exhausting. Every day dissecting, every day shadow work. Nothing gets better." Like, you know, because I'm into like exploring and journaling and wellness and all that shit and trying to like just be better and all that. And every day wellness, every day exploring, and I'm
Man.
just like, "Chiki, I'm tired."
I quit.
Every day bettering yourself.
Every day bettering
I quit,
yourself.
I
Fuck
quit.
that. I'm choosing chaos today. And then that one day I choose chaos. Tears, premium tears. You know, so for me, how I deal with grief, I'm not even gonna lie, it's so chaotic. I have experienced loss, not in terms of immediate death, but in terms of losing my past self and losing people I have loved. Like, because I was shit up to, and I'm always telling myself this, and I don't know if I've mentioned it to Kag, but I mentioned it to a lot of people, that until 2019, I was a shit person. I wasn't like ultimate shit. Most people wouldn't call me like ultimate shit, but I had, like, me now would look at my choices then and the way I acted then, and I was just like, you're so ugly and you're so terrible. So that's the loss I grieve. No, I don't grieve it. I don't grieve it. But I grieve the losses I experienced because of me being a shit person. Because I acknowledge I was a shit person. Like, even way just before high school and even in high school and immediately after high school, I was homophobic. Because our school was like fundamentalist Christian, and it was a terrible place to be in.
Very.
It was a terrible place to be in. And you know, so I don't grieve that part of me, but I grieve the relationships that I could have built because of that I could have built, but I didn't because of CG toxic, you know, all this yucky shit. And every time I grieve those things, I've lost my train of thought. But I grieve those things. And especially how I deal with it is I cry for one, and then I also sometimes I write. I journal extensively. I journal all my thoughts, and like I could be in the middle of my work day, like at 2 p.m. and I'll journal. Like, I'll just pull up some online journaling app I'm using now, and I'll be like, I'm feeling like this and this and this and this and this right now. I feel like a shit person because I did this and this and this and this and this, or I didn't do this and this and this and this. And yeah, that's how do I deal with my grief. I also don't deal with it. Sometimes I just go and get drunk, and then I call that one person I was in love with who I should never have called, but I will call them.
Gina.
And I embarrass myself. I embarrass myself.
Gina. I don't know. Serious.
Are you not embarrassed?
Yes.
I am so embarrassed. Like, the last time I called them was in July, and I'm trying to just make it to that year. Once I make it to 1 year without contacting them, I'll be so happy.
Happy New Year, girl.
You know? I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen them, but like without me purposefully contacting them, because our friendship groups are intertwined.
So.
But yeah, so for me, it's chaotic choices. That's how I deal with grief. Chaotic choices.
And to finish off the episode,
Kag.
Kags,
If you
Kagichu,
think mine are
Victoria.
chaotic, let's hear. You think mine are chaotic?
Victoria, let us know. Tuambie. What's happening? Rangiathao, tuchoche.
Okay, so for me, there are like a couple of very like wild things. Okay, not wild, but like not adulty things that I do to deal with grief. First of all, like Wango said, I call that person.
Does that person have a name?
It's so
Usually
chaotic, though.
Does that person have a name?
Okay, let me call
Feel as my
him.
same way.
Me ni Messi.
Excuse me, don't embarrass.
What do you want to call them?
Hide and seek. I'll
Hide
tell
and
you why.
You called him
I'll
hide and
tell you
seek.
why.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep it going.
Nice.
So I call hide and seek and tell them that I'm going through it. But hide and seek is a little bit.
Jeez.
No offense. I know he listens to this podcast.
What?
Walai.
I might just go through the, listen along.
You can't.
Hey.
You can't.
Nah,
Hide
nah.
and seek.
All I need is just one more thing.
One name.
I'm like Adrian Monk. I just put on a string and
But there's one name and you know.
I just listen one name.
But anyway, I call him and we talk about it, and it's solves. Like I feel better.
You talk about your grief.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, I do.
That's healthy though.
It's not.
Is it?
It's
If
not.
you're calling a person who's not that great for you, because
Yeah.
wait, have you mentioned
Toxic.
that? No, you've not.
He's
No,
very
no.
toxic.
Talk about that.
Sorry, that's on our podcast.
Very
Doesn't
toxic.
fucking
Yeah,
have
that-
to share until
Shout out
it's
to the first draft. Listen to the first draft.
for Kagsky
For Kags.
relationship status.
It's very toxic.
Yeah.
But he helps me through my grief, to be honest. And then the second way I deal with grief is
Umesahau. Jeez. Asi kwani.
okay.
Isi
The second
mtihani.
way I deal with grief is drugs. To be honest, I was hesitant because I was like,
Yo, this is a drug friendly
Very,
podcast.
very,
man.
very,
You-
Like
you-
everyday drugs.
everyday drugs.
We've literally had an episode
I
where we
need
broke
range.
down the drugs
I
we
need
use.
lanes.
Really?
We've literally had an episode where we talked about drug culture
And the effects.
Yeah.
and the effects and the
Yeah.
drugs I've used.
And why you should
Without
keep doing
me,
them.
the doctor,
So
the
niggerish.
pharmacist.
No, we
So
had
niggerish
somebody with
without
more
me.
experience than you.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's-
Season 2,
Ooh.
episode 2. Go listen to it.
Arafa
I will.
And Suki.
and Suki.
Oh, Suki. Oh, I've listened to that episode.
Listen to it
I
again
haven't,
now.
but I'll
Yeah,
listen
I
to
will.
it.
Intentionally.
You know, I'm disappointed that you haven't.
Rafa
Vanessa.
the
All the
Tanzanian.
levels.
Yeah, Rafa from the
Yeah,
Chai.
listen, I
Shout out
love
the
that
Chai. Shout out to
episode.
Rafa, Teddy, and
Hey,
Nura. We love them so
Suki.
much.
Arafa is so amazing.
So is Nura.
Like, yeah, just being around her is really
They were all there.
warm.
No, it's just a Rafa
Arafa and
and
Suki.
Suki.
Okay, I'll listen to it tonight.
I loved Suki on the podcast.
Yeah.
Suki is the best.
Suki
Anyway.
is funny as
Anyway, the
fuck.
third thing that I do, which is like the best thing for me, is to immortalize them through my writing.
Mhm.
So for Farah, the thing I did was when I wrote about Islam, the first paragraph was talking about him and how they used to call Adhan in Roysambu. I used to live in Roysambu when I was a kid, and they used to call Adhan the call to Islamic prayer. And I used to be like, this is the coolest thing I've ever had. Mashallah, this is the coolest thing. Like, this sounds like the best.
Mm.
Fuck, who was there at that time? I think I used to listen to Nicki Minaj at that time.
Fucking
The pink, what's it called?
The pink print.
Yeah, the pink print.
Yeah, that one, that's a fire track.
Yeah, and we used to listen
Did you
to
actually
like,
say fuck the pink print?
Yo, how old were you when the pink print came out, Mazi?
I don't know how old I was, but we used to go to my dad's
Maybe
car
about 10.
with like a flash disc or something.
Wait,
Flash
what?
disc?
Wait,
Flash.
what? Wait, about 10. Pink Prince Nyajuzi.
Pink print look any.
I did say I was about 10. I
How
didn't.
old are
I
you
said
guys? No, how old are you guys?
You're not my age. I never lie actually.
How old are you?
This year, I'm 28. I'm 29 this year.
You're turning 29, but we're not that much younger than you
How
guys.
old are you?
I'm 20. I turned. Wait, I turned 24 this year. Yeah, just like I feel very.
Kags, I
old
believe you're the
though.
same age.
no. I'm
You're-
23.
She's turning 24.
Yeah, she's
like,
24
in
this year.
November.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's the same
No,
thing.
but it's literally a whole last year because
Yeah.
she turns 24 in November.
Yeah.
Which is Kags.
So she's.
But
And
therefore,
you turned
like,
20.
double that pink
you turned
jean.
20.
I turned 24 in January.
Ah,
Now
you're
I'm like
doing
the
You're
intro.
24 already.
Yeah, I'm
I
24
told you,
right
leave that to
now.
Yeah.
I told you leave that to me.
Ah,
Anyway,
Oh my god, I need advice about being 24.
so I
Yeah.
was
Don't ask me.
ask
I was
me.
talking about the Adhan, man. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
put some respect on the Adhan.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. When I was talking to you about how
kid.
okay, that's a conversation to have later.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. But
Anyway,
how you dealing with
so
grief?
put some respect on the Adhan, the call to prayer. Anyway, they used to call it out in Roysambu, and I used to be like, first of all, you guys are the only Muslims here, so I don't know who you're calling to pray. You can just text each other. But I love it. I love it. I love it because I love it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. Keep on playing it all the time.
You like the sound of it?
I love it. I love even listening to
calming.
I love even listening to Quran. Like when I can't sleep, I make wudu, like I clean myself for prayer, and then I just listen to Quran.
Can I interrupt you for a bit?
Yeah.
I remember we had this school trip we went to Old Town Mombasa for our 4th year school trip for architecture, and we're supposed to design something about Swahili architecture, whatever. But something I see why you would love it, because I know it was like the end of the school day, but I enjoyed listening to Adhan, yeah. That when the person, like, they call people to prayer, Madini, and just seeing the kids, like, when they were going for, because we stayed there a whole week, so we got to see kids moving around, like going to madrasa and everything, and I loved it. Like, I really enjoyed the sound.
Yeah,
and just, like, I got
it's the
used
most
to the
beautiful
call
sound.
of the Madini and
It's
everything.
the most
Like,
beautiful
especially
sound.
how it was timed with, like, the sunrise, the sunset, and everything. It was
It's
very
the most beautiful
spiritual.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying I deal with grief by immortalizing my people. So the first thing I did, the first person I immortalized, or hope I immortalized, is Farah, because I dedicated the one with the prayer mat to him. The first paragraph is talking about how I listened to them playing Adhan when I was a kid, me going to him, asking him about Islam, him dying, and us eating pilau on a rooftop because he's dead.
Jesus.
And just me being very confused until years later when I was 23, and it hit me after a few shots of Pink Gin, and I was like, oh God, he's never coming back. So I wrote about him. So every time I see a notification for Chukuram Janja liked your the one with the prayer mats, I'm like, you read the first paragraph.
I know Chokoram
I know
Janja.
Chokoram. That's him.
Yeah. No, that's not him. Chokoram Janja is a completely different
It's a
motherfucker.
different, yeah.
Chokoram Janja is in the band.
That's skinny jeans.
Yeah, Chokoram Janja.
Yeah.
Like Maina. I know Maina.
I know Maina as well,
Yeah.
but Maina did like my blog post. Let me not say he liked it.
Just a
But it's so
random
weird.
Just a random
I know
thing.
Chokoram Janja.
Just a random thing.
Ungesema Chokoram Janja,
Ungesema huyu Chokora, unapoint at me.
but shout out to him.
Yeah. And
Listen to his music.
yeah.
Let's say that. Anyway, so when I see that, I'm like, you've read about Farah, and Farah is in your mind right now because you've read about that. So he's forever living, And the second thing I want to write about is about Maina, the one for Canaan.
Yeah.
I want to write about something about Canaan with two
Make
of
sure
my
you read
homies,
it.
inshallah.
Yeah.
And for sure, I want to keep that energy. Like, if you're my homie and you die, I will write about you, because I know, inshallah, I'll be a big writer one day, and people will come looking for my blog, and they'll see you there.
Yeah,
And you'll
we're
never
snapping in the
die.
studio. Yeah.
But I feel
You'll
like you
never
also
die.
immortalize people who aren't also dead. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
true.
like,
That's
the
very
people
true.
you've
Yeah.
loved, even the people you've broken up with, and things
Yeah.
like that. I think you also immortalize them in that way. And
Yeah.
like like that's how you grieve. I think you grieve them that way.
That's how I grieve a breakup, by the way.
That's how you
Yeah.
grieve breakups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
immortalize
very, like-
people.
That's amazing. And if you want to read about her breakups, go check out her blog. But anyway, we've come to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We'll have all the links by there down here. Ukitaka kusoma. And
Down here.
down
This
here,
side. This,
There.
This or this.
yeah, whichever, hapa chini.
Down, upper chini.
If you're listening to this on whatever, ni hapa chini. If you're watching on YouTube, ni hapa chini. And again, I just want to shout out Kags and Wango for coming on the show. Listen to the
Thank you
podcast,
for
the
having
first
us.
draft. It's amazing.
Check out
Kags
IG.
says some really outlandish things. Wango says some not so outlandish things, but she's grounded.
I don't.
Check out her
so.
IG.
Yeah,
though.
check out her
Like,
IG.
Wango
Check out
Wango.
Kags' writing. warimukagichu.wordpress.com.
Yeah.
I know that offhead.
Yeah, I love that.
Of course you do. So yeah, guys, thank you for rocking with us. See you on the next one.
Ivy Gang Gang.
AKA Mango King.